Now, the one thing you can do in these strange times is always have a cup of tea and a biscuit, and of course, good old-fashioned chat. So what shall we chat about? Well, I'm a sculptor, and as you can see, we've got plenty of sculpture in front of me. So I think that's a very good starting point. Now, for most people, sculpture is always monumental, public art. You know, statues that you see in your square. But for this little talk, or chat, as I should say, I want to concentrate on small sculpture, and in particular, the phrase touchstone sculpture. Now, often you might go out and collect a stone or a shell or a twig on a long walk, and it becomes something that reminds you of something. It becomes like a memory piece. And very often touchstone pieces are like that. They're often made for civilizations to carry them through from one place to another. So they had that personalised symbology. So I'd like to draw your attention first of all to this small touchstone piece. Now, this piece of stone was given to me by a friend, and he said, I think it's something like Porphyro Verde porphyry from Greece, which I'd never heard of before. So I thought about it for a while as to what I could do with it. Now, I didn't want to over stress the stone. I wanted to keep it nice and simple and to learn as much as I could from it. So I wanted to keep the character of the stone there. You can see the natural side of the stone. And then you can see the crystals in here, which are really polished up beautifully. Now, porphyry is a very hard stone. It's about 7, 8 on the Mohs scale. So to carve it is quite tricky. But as you can see, I've made these nice rounded edges, which just cusp my hand. Now, this could be like a lover's hand stone, or it could be, say, something like a pestle and mortar, so it could be a pestle to grind corn perhaps, or it could be a tenderizer. So it has many sort of characteristics which you can put into a stone. It becomes your own personalised stone. But first and foremost, I think it should be something that's very beautiful, that you want to keep coming back to and picking up. Now, here we have a piece of, not a true marble, it's a sedimentary stone that's been squeezed geologically to become a metamorphic stone. So this comes from the county Kerry in Ireland, and it's simply called Kerry Red. Often stones are named by place of origin. As you can see, I've got these characteristic little marks along the top and a very, very tight point. So again, it could have its own iconography. Often stones I like using on a small premise to learn its vocabulary, to see how it carves, whether you need to grind or carve a stone. But this stone, I was very lucky enough to pick up a very small, a medium-sized piece of stone which I could make some form of torso out of. So here we have the torso merging from the ground up through her hips, her breasts, and up to her torso. Now, as you can see, it's a very seductive stone. It's lovely red and pinks. And in Ireland, well, geologically speaking, a very rare stone now because it's not quarried anymore. There are a few pieces around for restoration and such like, but there isn't a quarry that actively quarries it. So I was very lucky to get that stone. Another stone on the table here is a piece of Winfell granite. Now, this stone has this lovely green lustre. I wanted to use, again, a small piece of stone to see how it would carve, as this stone I used in a major commission for the East End of London. It's from a quarry, an open cast quarry, which means it's not blasted or sawn out of the quarry face. It's actually drawn out from the quarry. And I wanted to learn its vocabulary to see how it polish and mark make, so I could use those skills in the big commission. But this is like a simple male torso to me. Again, an igneous stone, a granite. Now, over here we have a very beautiful piece. Again, a touchstone piece. Touchstone pieces are things you can interact with. You lift off from the tabletop. This stone came from Italy. It's an Italian marble. I'm not quite sure from which part of Italy it comes. You can see this lovely crystallised structure here. It's like a nougat stone to me. It has this amazing green veining through it. Good enough to eat, I sometimes think. You can see the little backbone in there, carved into the sculpture there. So it holds a nice fine line. Now for me, they're good, lovely stones for interacting on the tabletop. But often I've found that collectors and admirers of the work like to display them in a different format. You can see translucently through the stone. So I've made a stand which can display the stone in an interior level. So it could go on a tabletop or it could go in a niche in a house, but it's just there. I wouldn't advocate this because I do think they're better stones for working to have, again, as a touchstone piece that you can move. Once it's in a stand, very likely it's not going to be taken out of that stand. And finally, I'd like to draw your attention to this amazing stone. This is a piece of Onyx, which I picked up from Pietrasanta in Italy again. It's a female like deity figure. I call it a moonstone because as we raise it up, it has this lovely translucency. So you can see how thin, when you make the stone thinner, it becomes translucent. So it has this moon shape. So it's a beautiful little moon deity. You see, as it moves around, it has almost a halo around the moon itself. Lovely, gorgeous, orangey stone. Again, texture and very tight mark making. Lovely stone to work. So I'm going to stop talking now. I think you've heard me talk enough. Thank you for listening. Stone is to be enjoyed. It has a past, present and future. I like that connectivity. It's always going to be with us. It has its own personality and textures for you to enjoy. So next time you see a piece of sculpture, don't forget to touch it. Bye for now.